Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my sticky toffee pudding test for my level 3 cookery course. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, here I'm just going to light the stove and place my dates and water so my dates can begin to simmer for approximately 5 minutes, after which I will add my baking powder. I added baking powder instead of bicarbonate of soda because I cannot find any more bicarbonate of soda. It's all sold out in all the shops. I don't know why it's all sold out. Of course, it's during the lockdown, so of course such such supplies are in high demand. Anyway, the baking powder was a good substitute. Okay, here I'm about to cream my butter and sugar together in my bowl. You can use an electric whisk. However, for this test, I decided to use a wooden spoon to beat them together. This is what I used when I was in college. This was the method I used. Of course, an electric whisk is easier, but I decided to use a wooden spoon today. It does take a bit longer, and you have to ensure that the mixture is light and fluffy. Here I just added my baking soda to my dates, just giving a little mix, and then I'm going to put them aside to cool. Of course, they were strained to remove the liquid and allowed to cool. Here I am just finishing off creaming my butter and sugar, and in a moment I'll be adding my eggs. This process of adding your eggs to this mixture, you'll have to mix the mixture vigorously or it will split. So always add the eggs one at a time. If you prefer, you could always beat your eggs first and then pour them into the mixture that way. Here though, I just added one egg at a time and beat the mixture vigorously. This will ensure that the mixture does not split. If it were to split, this can be remedied by adding a sprinkling of flour, which will combine the ingredients together. So that's a good tip to keep in mind when adding eggs to your mixture. Now I'm about to add my flour, my self-raising flour. I'm adding a bit at a time, and now I just added all of it. And now I'm going to gently incorporate the flour into the wet mixture. It's important not to overwork the mixture. You don't want to remove any of the air you put into it earlier. And once this has been done, I will add my dates and give it a final mix. I have my dates. I'm just giving one a quick taste to make sure they're tender. They are. I have a paper towel just to remove any excess liquid from the strainer, and now I've added all the dates to the mix. The mix is ready. It is ready when it has a dropping consistency, so you can pick your spoon up like so, and it just plops into the pudding mold. The pudding mold has been greased with unsalted butter, and then in a moment you will see I will cover them with greaseproof paper and foil. Now, the greaseproof paper and foil, you put the greaseproof paper on your work surface and then the foil on top. And to allow the mixture to rise in the pudding while it's cooking, you create a pleat by folding the paper and the foil. You'll see this in a moment. This part can be quite fiddly. I certainly found it fiddly. You tie a string around the rim of the pudding basin, tie a knot, then you create, shall we say, like a handle, so you can hold them and lift them like a basket. This also ensures that no moisture enters the pudding during the cooking process. Now, as I am steaming them at home, I do not have a steamer, but what I do have is, of course, my deep saucepan. I put a raised surface inside the pan like a plate, water around the side, halfway up, and it's gently steaming away. And then, of course, you can top up the water throughout the cooking process. The cooking process itself, as they're being steamed, would take about 45 to 50 minutes. It sounds a long time, but if you were to cook it for less time, say 30 minutes, you'll discover that the pudding will not be cooked through, it will still be wet inside. So you have to ensure you do cook it for the stated time. Okay, here I am just checking the water levels and topping the saucepan. I am left-handed, of course, so apologies, you cannot see me doing this, but I just have a jug of water on the side, warm water from the kettle, and I'm just pouring it around the sides, ensuring it does not go onto the puddings. Okay, here I am just about to prepare my toffee sauce, and for this toffee sauce, for this particular recipe, it's an all-in-one method. You can add your cream, your sugar, your black treacle, your golden syrup, vanilla extract, vanilla essence, depending what you have, and you can add it all at the same time, as well as the butter, of course. I'm just adding it to the saucepan now, putting it aside, so when it does come to it, I can put it on the heat and make the sauce. Okay, the toffee sauce has now been put aside for later, and now I'm about to make my creme anglaise. This recipe has used 4 eggs, about 200 mils of cream, and sugar Yeah, sorry, the sugar is about 65 grams. I'm just checking the puddings, making sure they're okay. I'm just about to whisk my eggs and sugar together, whisking them vigorously to incorporate them together and to form a ribbon texture, a pale ribbon texture. Now I'm just adding my cream to the saucepan. The saucepan is on at this time. You have to make sure that when you're cooking your cream, you do not overcook it, do not let it boil. You want it scalding. Remember, with cream, if you overcook it, if it boils over too much, it will split. The fat will split and will curdle. You don't want that. Okay, my cream is now at a point at which it can now be incorporated into my egg mixture, and I'm just going to carefully pour it into the bowl, a bit at a time. Should really use a jug here, actually, to be honest with you, but this way, as long as you do it gently, you'll be fine. And as you can see, I'm whisking continuously so that the mixture does not split. Once this is complete, you can strain it. I strained it. I placed it into a bowl to remove any lumps, and then I transferred it to a measuring jug for ease of service for later. Okay, here I am just mixing my toffee sauce, incorporating all the elements together until the consistency is reached. The consistency itself, you don't want it too runny nor too thick, but make sure you do stir it continuously. You don't want the sugars to burn, otherwise the sauce will become bitter and then you will have to start again. Here I've just added cling film on top of the creme anglaise to ensure no skin develops. Okay, here I'm about to take out my puddings. I did take one out earlier, but it wasn't ready. So I had this second one and left it in a bit longer. The recipe I followed was for 4 puddings, so I had mix left over in case the others were a bit undercooked. And a couple were undercooked, but like I said, I had some spares. I now tested the spare now with my cake probe, I suppose you can call it that. And it comes out clear. So the pudding has been cooked through, and now I need to let it cool down just for a few moments so I can remove it from the pudding mold. Here you can see the pudding. Some of it has stuck around the pudding basin, so I suppose I could let it cool a bit longer, add more butter to it. Something I could look into for later. But it's looking okay, looking fine. Certainly when you add the sauce over it, it will look presentable. Just adding a toffee sauce first, nice rich dark colour, and then my creme anglaise. Here I'm using some mint to add a bit of greenery. Perhaps I could have used a bit less mint. I suppose what you could do to give it a contrast in colour, you could add berries like strawberries, cut fruit around the side of the dish, perhaps on top of the pudding, just to give a bit more depth of colour. But yes, the mint's on top. Could add a bit less mint. So there you have it, my sticky and toffee pudding with creme anglaise, toffee sauce for my level 3 test. It went reasonably well, I think. Hopefully we will achieve a good result. And then, of course, as always, practice makes perfect. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you do like what you see, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts, share your hints and tips, and I'll see you hopefully in my next video. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.